Hello, my name is Sarah Miller and I'm the Assistant Director for Communications at NHS Clinical Commissioners. I'm here in conversation with our new Chief Exec, Lou Patten. So Lou, what have you been doing up until now?
So before taking on this role, I was the accountable officer for Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire CCGs, and I was also the ICS leader for Buckinghamshire.
So what attracted you to the role?
It's such a powerful role. It's a really strong collective voice. It's very much member-led, really tapping into the innovative way that they are taking commissioning forward, both at place and at ICS level or STP level.
You obviously never would have expected to have started this role in the middle of a pandemic. And obviously you were working partly as a district nurse before starting here. What were you seeing on the ground?
What I'm seeing on the ground is what our members effectively tell us. It's that post-COVID phase, which is going to be a real challenge for primary care and for our community services.
Obviously, like lots of people, your life is now taken over with Teams calls, video calls. So could you give us a flavour of the kinds of conversations that you've been having in these early weeks?
The first thing I'd like to say about the virtual meetings is that the irony of this is that I've not met anybody in real life yet. So all of this has to be done on Teams. And I'm sure many people listening to this video will recognise that that has its own challenges. So a typical day for me is touching base with the team before we start, just to check that things haven't come in overnight. And then usually it's into a number of areas. There's a lot going on around medicines optimisations. There's a lot of work currently going on around continuing healthcare. We've heard from members around the real challenges around the nursing workforce and around the backlog of assessments and the ongoing challenge that will create for CCGs, both in terms of workforce and in terms of cost.
We know that commissioning is obviously evolving, and that's the theme of lots of our meetings and webinars at the moment. But I wondered what you felt were the opportunities around that, as well as what you see as some of the challenges that are facing commissioners as we look at the system by default model.
I think we have got a real opportunity at NHS Clinical Commissioners to influence what streamlined commissioning looks like. What we're talking about is making sure that there's empowerment of place, of provider collaboratives at place, and then at greater scale, ICS level, STP level, or even beyond that, that we have commissioning functions operating at where scale makes sense to do those. So we've got to support our local CCGs. We recognise that there's quite a variation in our CCGs. Some of them are operating at STP or ICS footprint, others are not. So it's really important to help support the different models of commissioning.
Now, obviously, we have an opportunity to connect with some of our members virtually at our first virtual annual member event on the 12th of November. Is that something you're really looking forward to?
We've been able to secure some fantastic speakers who will come and either be interviewed beforehand or come and talk to us. We've got some great panels set up, and I think we've got a really exciting day. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So what does Lou Patten do when she's not working?
I love walking, and I, of course, love open water swimming.
Is it you were hoping to swim to Alcatraz, but lockdown slightly put a dampener on that plan?
There are some really iconic open water swims, the Channel, the Hellespont, and Escaping from Alcatraz. So that's the last one on my list.
Obviously, because of the difficulties of being able to meet members face to face, I'm sure you're really keen to have conversations and calls and email exchanges with all of our members at the moment.
That's really important to me. We are only as strong as the voice that you give us. So we're going to, over the next few months, trial a few different ways and means of touching base with you. What I'm really keen to set up in the next couple of weeks is a WhatsApp group for accountable officers to ask you questions and for you to rapidly respond to us. And any ideas you have, please contact me personally or via Twitter, and I'm very pleased to speak to you.
Lou, thank you very much.
Thank you.